first half for South Carolina State with a plus 15 from behind the arc, and that's the difference in the ball game.
South Carolina State knocked down 6 triples. Norfolk State just 1, but the Spartans, 9 of their 10 buckets came from in the paint. Here's Moore. Again in the paint, count the bucket and 1.
See, Moore's not a three-point shooter. This is when this young man is at his best. When he's putting his head down and driving it hard to the rack. Look at that great pass there, right between the defender, right by his armpit. And Moore, this is what Moore does. He has a game, he played at Murray State. He has a game similar to John Morant. It's like just head down, full speed, all gas, no brakes.
Second foul on Davion Everett as Moore completes the three-point play. And again, the Bulldogs looking to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Be the first time in 22 years for the Spartans. It'd be their 4th time making it to the Big Tens. Here's Dubinsky. They go inside to Drayton Jones, and Jones will draw the foul.
Well, Jones does a nice job, that left shoulder turn and that little hesitation. It's almost like a head and shoulder fake. Gets that apple up in the air and gets the defender off his feet. And then as he's coming back down, Jones initiates that body contact. He'll have an opportunity to go to the line. I mentioned all the free throws this young man has attempted this season. 225 and counting.
Jones, the leading scorer on the season. South Carolina State, he's the sophomore out of Houston. Knocked them both down. A little pressure. Here's Christian Ing. Ten now on the shot clock for Norfolk State. Moore has it with 5. Darden, baseline jumper is good.
Well, they took their time, they executed. You saw South Carolina State, like you said, they put that backcourt pressure, hoping they would speed up the Spartans, but they took their time, executed, found their man along the baseline for a little mid-range jump shot. So back-to-back buckets. They got the Spartans off to a nice start here in the second half.
Yeah, lead is now just 6 for the Bulldogs. Running the baselines, Krosky. His three's no good. Here comes Moore. Has it knocked away, got it back, and lays it in. Lead is 4.
Wow, that was impressive. Get that basketball off the rim and you're off to the races. So Spartans doing a nice job mixing up that inside attack. It's a good defense. Falling back into a little zone defense here. It's kind of an amoeba 2-3 zone defense where the back line's got to anchor the defense.
Fields knocks it away with the steal. Ings back the other way for the Spartans. Moore, shot blocked, got it back. And foul.
What a closeout defensively to get to Moore's three-point shot, but that young man, he stays with it. This is a different player than we saw in the first half to the second half. He's being a lot more aggressive and taking that ball to the basket. I love that one right there. It wasn't the best, textbook fast break, but definitely got that ball to the other end and got the score. Now let's see if they're concentrating a little bit better on their baseline out of bounds plays than they did in that first half. See if they can get a high percentage shot.
Fields turns the corner, shot rejected. Drayton Jones.
Big DJ Diesel down there patrolling that paint several times. He has sent these Spartans packing when they have tried to drive that ball to the rack. I just like the fact that we're seeing the true Morton now here in the second half.
Mop up a wet spot there on the baseline. Here's Fields again with it. Moore tried the backdoor cut. The ball's knocked out of bounds.
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I think that was Oliver. No, I take that back. That was McCarthy down there. He sold out defensively and blocked and deflected that pass. But Moore had himself a backdoor layup.
Here's Darden with 5. Ames forces up a 3 and fouled by Colin McKenzie.
McKenzie's got to know he's a three-point specialist. All he does is shoot threes. He's got to know not to go out there and foul a three-point shooter, especially when he up against that shot clock. But yes, he just gets into the side body of England. He will send that young man the line for 3. He had himself a 4-point play last night.
Here's the junior. Averages 11 a game.
Well, it is safe to say that Norfolk State has settled down here. Whatever Coach said to them at halftime is working here in the second half.
Second free throw rolls off, and Champ Week rolls on. Tonight at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Got the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship game. The top seed Houston taking on the 3rd seed Arizona. 8:30 we got the ACC tournament championship game. The number 1 seed Duke. The 2nd seed Louisville. Of course, all part of Champ Week. Presented by Principal.
Yeah, Houston's good. Boy, the defense they put on BYU last night. I feel bad for those Cougars. They couldn't get anything going. Some of them are under 40% shooting for the game.
Meanwhile, Spartans nearly came up with a steal on a 6-0 run. And just like that, the lead for South Carolina State is just 2.
Yeah, momentum is swung. You would have thought South Carolina State had that momentum coming out here in the second half, but the Spartans have snatched that away. They are the more aggressive team here in this first 2.5 minutes.
Bulldogs have yet to knock down a field goal here in the second half. Coming upon 3 minutes played. Everett with it, powers his way to the rim, missed it, but got it back. Wide open for 3. That shot is no good. And here come the Spartans with an opportunity to take the lead or tie the game.
Oh my, great defense inside. Would not let the Bulldogs score.
They go to Fields. He spins. His shot's no good, but a foul. He'll go to the line.
I like this kid, Fields, man. I tell you what, he just solid 235 pounds down there, but he's got nimble feet. Great footwork down there in that paint, that spin move to get away from the shot blocker Jones and get that body contact.
That's going to be the 4th on Davion Everett.
Oh, that's bad news. That's bad news. He's one of their key contributors inside. And that's going to leave a lot of openings for Moore and Darden to attack the paint. He's going to have to come sit down.
So Everett will have a seat. Omar Prosky will replace him. One-point lead for the Bulldogs.
A bad situation, right? You lose one of your players to foul trouble, and you bring the guy off the bench who's got 30 points last night.
Here's Mitchell Taylor. He'll set the table for South Carolina State. Open 3, McKenzie. You can't give him space.
It's just poor defensive recognition. You got a KYP. Know your personnel. All this kid does is knock down triples. He's got 9 of them in 3 games. Excuse me, make that 10 threes.
At 14 last night, 14 points. Hits that triple. Here's Ings. His 3 is no good. Strong rebound by Drayton Jones, and here comes South Carolina State. Teal Inside. Nope. Jones had it. And he's tied up, and they're going to call a jump ball.
Like 6 arms on that basketball. I love the way these guys are battling for that rock. And I tell you what, you cannot leave McKenzie open on that rock. You put it inside, you look cross court, you find your sniper, nobody within 12 feet. He's free to fire.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go. There's nothing stopping him right now. This is just spectacular. The celebration is on. Undefeated South Carolina has won its 3rd national championship.
March Madness begins March 19th.
Of course, that's next week. And for the Spartan alums, keeping their eye here on this game because the winner heads to the NCAA tournament because, hey, look, even on the women's side, the Lady Spartans will be in that championship game as well. And it follows us. They'll be taking on the Lady Bisons there of Howard. The winner of that game will head to the NCAA tournament as well. Bulldogs inbounding under their own basket. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Wipe up another wet spot there at the foul line. Knocked out of bounds, but a foul. Omar Krosky looks like he'll go to the line.
Yeah, they got him a ding down there. He lost track of where the players were on his weak side in his blind spot. He's going to pick up his 3rd personal foul.
Krosky's a senior. Averaged about 12 points a game this season. And over the last 10 games, he's been averaging at least 2 made threes a game. Had 30 points in the semifinal game last night. He was 11 of 14 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3.
Stuck on automatic, and I love that right there because when you can't have a start to this game that he had obviously yesterday when he had those 19 first half points, he got himself to the free throw line. He's a 72% shooter. Sometimes that's all a good shooter needs is just a little visualization of that ball going through the basket.
Bensky putting some pressure on Moore and strips him. That was almost close.
It was close to over back. Yeah, he got those Nikes down at the last second.
Mitchell Taylor did. 15 minutes left in the game. Dubinsky lost it. It's a turnover.
Yeah, back-to-back turnovers. I was just about to say the Spartans have done a better job this half taking care of the basketball. They had 11 turnovers in the first half, and before Moore just lost it on that last trip, they hadn't committed a turnover here in the second half, and then both teams cough it up. So we're right back to where we started after the free throws.
Here's Christian Ames.
Yeah, their nerves, you know, they 20 in for their basketball wives here, a chance to go to the big dance. You're going to see some sloppy play at moments.
Stolen. All of that dribbling. The result, a turnover.
Yeah, it was just too much dribbling by Ings out top. And then just a simple wing pass. And you're going to see that defender standing right in the passing lane.
Here's Mitchell Taylor. Good dime. Can't finish is Caleb McCarty. And here come the Spartans back the other way. Ings gives it up. Moore finishes, and it will go to the line.
Well, it's getting a little YMCA in here. 4 turnovers in a row, and it ends up with the Spartans get the breakaway live ball turnover here. Look at Inks. He could have taken this thing in there against the pressure, but he gives the ball up to his buddy Moore, who has been absolutely fantastic here in this second half. An opportunity to finish another three-point play. Looking for point number 14.
Couple of substitutions here for South Carolina State, including their point guard, Jaden Johnson. He'll check in. Here's Moore. He only had 6 points in the first half.
Yeah, 6 points in the first half. He got 7 points. We still got 14 minutes to play here in the second half. Boy, he's struggling from that free throw line. I'm trying to call out of that deficit. You got to start knocking those freebies in.
Here's Dubinsky. Drayton Jones. Back to Dubinsky. The freshman, the three, short. But there are the Bulldogs again on that offensive glass. Drayton Jones had it and lost it. Helter skelter here. It will stay with the Spartans.
That's a great word right there, helter skelter. I guess you're trying to throw that 45-foot pass at about shoulder height, right? Like that's where everyone's arms and hands are. So the chance that that's going to get through cleanly is not very good. Take your time, dribble it up, get into your, you can't always get a fast break. I know you'd like to, but sometimes defense is getting back. They're hustling back in transition. Settle down, execute your half-court offense or your secondary break.
Lead is 4. Darden. In the lane, kept the bucket and one. Jalen Myers, the senior, knocks it down. The transfer out of UT Martin.
Well, a smart decision by Darden. He gets cut off there by the 6'11 Jones, and he comes back and fires a strike right out to the three-point line to Myers, and Myers doesn't settle. That's what I like. They're not a three-point shooting team. They don't settle on threes. You got to drive that thing right back into the heart while the defense is trying to rotate from that deep position where that ball was, where Darden had it, and just get yourself that contact. Boy, it's been a different Norfolk State team here in this second half.
First on Dubinsky. Three-pointer, point play is good. Lead is 1 now for South Carolina State.
Big halftime lead is just dissipated. Norfolk State playing much harder, much smarter here in this second half, taking care of that basketball a little bit better than South Carolina State is.
We're playing here in Norfolk. Home crowd into it now. Teal to Mitchell with 5. Krosky, shot blocked. Spartans come up with it. And an opportunity to take the lead back.
Oh, this place is getting lit. They're watching their team execute defensively, and they're hustling hard, and they're trying to give them that emotional lift that they need.
Top 2 teams in the MEAC. Moore, shot rejected by Drayton Jones, and he lets him hear about it.
I love the little inside-out rebound by Moore, but here comes big DJ Diesel coming over. Jones blocks that out. He absolutely loves it. He said, not up in here, not when I'm patrolling the paint.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Quick substitution here for the Bulldogs. Caleb McCarty will come in. Mitchell Taylor, the sophomore, have a seat. From the baseline, jumper no good.
They didn't get that bucket to fall, but boy, that was good execution. Jones all the way around the top, found himself free along the baseline.
And Krosky knocks down a big 3. Lead is 4.
Gotta find those shooters in transition. They'll make you pay. It's Krosky and McKenzie along that arc.
We played 8 minutes. 12 to play here in the championship game. Fading baseline jumper is good by Jalen Myers.
Well, when you're trying to trim the slide a little bit, you got to get that ball in transition, and I love that one right there. Finding your transition sniper on that right wing.
Well, we've got you covered on Selection Sunday. Starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Sports Center on ESPN. Reese and the guys, they'll look at the men's field of 68. The brackets will be announced, followed by bracketology with the breakdown of each region. Then at 8, we've got the women's field of 68 with bracketology as well, and a complete breakdown at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. Talk about Joe Lenardi and his bracketology. Right now, he's got West Virginia, San Diego State, Xavier, and Boise as the last 4 in. First 4 out, Indiana, North Carolina. Scott Williams.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe. I'm going to have to give Joe a call. My Tar Heels got to make the tournament.
It's those quad 1 wins that they're lacking.
Yeah, we don't have too many of those. But we gave Duke a heck of a fight last night. And they're in the championship game against Louisville, and no one's given Louisville a chance. But without Cooper Flagg, who I don't expect is going to go tonight in that championship game, is he? You shouldn't sleep on Chucky Hepburn. We got a ball game right here. 1 possession game. Spartans looking like a different team from first half to second half. They've gone back into that little matchup zone defense. Got a rebound out of that zone defense, though.
Inside to Jones. His pass stolen, though. Darden comes up with the steal. And it's going to be a 1-on-1 for the Spartans, who are down just 2, 11:24 to play. Two-point lead for South Carolina State over Norfolk State in this MEAC championship game. The winner heads to the NCAA tournament. And for the Bulldogs, with a victory, well, it'll be their first time punching their ticket to the big dance in 22 years. And for the Spartans, well, victory today, it would be what, the 3rd time in the last 5 seasons they've won this tournament and headed to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you know, the seniors on the squad, they got a little taste of that a few years ago, and you know they want to return to the big dance, the pageantry. I was talking about my experiences in the NCAA tournaments. Like, I never got to go to the Final Four. Yeah, state championship, 3 NBA championships, but the one hole is that opportunity to go to the Final Four. But there's nothing better in all of basketball than the madness of March in the NCAA tournament.
We've got our first tie here since it was 17-17. 2 best teams in the MEAC going at it for a chance to play in the big dance.
6 turnovers in 9 minutes for the Spartans. Their offense has come unglued, and they got to try to figure out a way to punch this thing inside.
Dubinsky, the triple, and he fouled.
I don't understand that one by Darden. They've really been struggling to score. You got to shoot a long triple, and you try to come around that big pick by Jones, and you catch a piece of the shooter. See that it's just trying to switch out there and challenge the shot, but all you need is a hand in the face, not up to try to block a 3-point shot and get that body contact.
Here's the senior. Still looking for his first points in this second half. He's now in double figures.
concentration. You can see it in his eyes, right? It's not easy to step to the line and knock in 3 shots in a row from the free throw line, but that focus is just like a laser beams.
Knocked all 3 of them down. Lead is 3 for the Bulldogs. Moore to Ings, looking to tie. Got it!
I'll tell you what, Moore does a nice job finding his partner on this right side. I thought they were going to milk a little clock, like take a little break on that possession, but Ings just raised right up and canned a triple.
Here's Drayton Jones, cut off. McKenzie has it. McCarty knocks it down. 2-point lead now for the Bulldogs.
So back-to-back buckets on both sides. This is 10 minutes to play. Anybody's ball game. I love it. I get chills sitting over here with you.
Winner heads to the NCAA tournament in a conference tournament championship.
We'll go back to this one here by Ing. Just a good execution and the bounce pass. It came right up and got the guy right in the shooting pocket, and Ings knocks it down. And then this one right here. Take on that double team. You pick and roll, and I'll find you a little hook pass for a little meaty. Put us back up on top.
First free throw is good. Both of them good by Martin, or Myers, excuse me. Tie game at 49. Under 10 to play. Dubinsky brings it over the timeline. Here's Jaden Johnson with it now. McKenzie. Back to Johnson with 3. Dubinsky. Jones. 4th shot. No good. Ings comes away with it.
Fantastic defense by the Spartans. Swarming. Closed out on McKenzie in the corner. Would not let him get up a triple.
Ings turns the corner. Haynes. Shot no good. But he comes away with it somehow.
I don't know how that little man came out of that amongst the trees. He was down there with Jones, and he snatched that thing away. Well, that is the 9th team foul now on South Carolina State. So with 9 minutes and 6 seconds left, Norfolk State will be shooting 2 free throws every time they get fouled. That's a huge advantage. On the other side, Norfolk State's only fouled 3 times.
Ings knocks it down. First lead here for the Spartans since it was, what, 21-19 in the first half.
Well, we talked about Bulldogs being the more aggressive team, the hungrier team in the first half. And you got to say, you got to give credit where credit is due. The Spartans have been the more aggressive team here in the second half. That's why they got the 2-point lead.
And they've got the 2-point lead. They were down by as many as 11. The last time Norfolk State overcame an 11-point deficit and won a game, it was against Purdue-Fort Wayne. CIT title game. They trailed by as many as 18 in that one. That 3 is no good. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with South Carolina State. They say that one went off of Tyrell Bladen. And the Bulldogs have called a timeout. 8:43 to play, 2-point lead for the Spartans. MEAC Coach of the Year, Eric Martin, calling a timeout, drawing up a play for his Bulldogs, who led this game by as many as 11. In fact, the Bulldogs are 14-1 this season when they've led by 11 or more. Their only loss came to Georgia, and that was back in December, and they had a 17-point lead in that game.
I love this game. We talked about the 2 times they played in the overtime. Only 1 point separate these two teams. And what is it? 2 points right now.
Baseline jumper, no good. Here come the Spartans. Opportunity to fatten that lead. It is 2. 8:30 to play. They split the regular season series. 1 each. The drive, no good. Dubinsky comes away with it. And here come the Bulldogs with the opportunity to tie or take the lead.
What an extra effort play by Dubinsky to save that ball along the sideline.
Taylor, his shot, no. Everett, follow. Rejected by NorfolkSt. And here come the Spartans.
Laid it on that baseline. Came racing from the right block to the center of the floor to swat that shot away.
Ains calls for the high screen. Nearly lost it. And how did he get that one to go up and under? 6-0 run for NorfolkSt.
Oh my, Chicago style, back to the basket, not looking at the rim. He found a way to squirt it in between the backboard and the corner of the rim away from the defender.
Extra pass, Dubinsky. Cut off and turnover. Listen to this Norfolk crowd. The Spartans have risen up here in the second half.
Well, you don't always draw it up this way, but this young man would not be denied. I love that hustle and energy.
Pastor Crean Cuff in studio over on ESPN. Tennessee and Chaz Lanier controlling this game against Auburn.
Chaz Lanier is really good. One of the best transfers in all the country from North Florida last year, leading Tennessee right now.
And they're up 6 over on ESPN. Coming up once our game is over, the American Conference semifinals. Tulane taking on P.J. Haggerty, Player of the Year in the conference in Memphis.
This guy is so tough. He's unafraid. He goes to the rim. He's a professional foul drawer. He's going to have to find gaps in that Tulane matchup zone.
And we learned something today. Scott Williams, just like Josh Pastner, says NC2A tournament. Back to you, BC.
Tell him you're a man of many talents.
What did Dallas say about me? I couldn't hear him. I'm watching these mascots have a dance-off in center court. All I heard was Scott Williams something.
Well,
you talking about my Tar Heels?
Only in the MEAC do the mascots have a dance-off.
That was good dance-off.
It was good.
They were getting it.
Almost as good as this game.
Yeah, these teams are getting it here. It was all South Carolina State to end the first half, and to start the second half, it has been all Norfolk State. Who wants it?
7 minutes to play. Spartans up 4. Myers to Ings. Extra pass with 5. Here's Brian Moore Jr. Up and under. And he'll go to the line.
This kid is just so athletic, right? Up against the shot clock. You think he's going to settle for a fall-away jumper, taking him out of bounds along the baseline. And he knifes through along the baseline and gets that foul. And now not only is it a shooting foul, but he's got a chance to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws. Oh, something. Oh, 5 fouls.
Omar Krosky.
Krosky is fouled out of this game with 6:48 to play. Oh, that's devastating news to the Bulldogs.
10 points, had 30 last night in the semifinal game. You see him dapping up his teammates.
Well, this is where that bench has got to step up. Second leading scoring bench in the nation at 37.2 points per game. 44 points last night. Somebody off that pine now is going to have to provide that offensive punch. Moore knocks down that first free throw. Lead now 5. Moore's been a different cat here in this second half. Much more aggressive, leading his team offensively. Not only with the scoring, but also with the distribution.
8-0 run here by the Spartans, their largest lead. It is 6:40 to play. Winner heads to the NCAA tournament. It's been over 2 decades since South Carolina State has done it. Here's Everett. And lays it in.
Oh, nice power move. One crab dribble. Taking on all comers to the basket. Nice use of backboard as well.
First points for South Carolina State in 4 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like about 20 minutes of actual time.
Spartans working around the perimeter. Skip pass to Ings. Drive and an offensive foul.
Ings can't believe it. He thought the defender was sliding his feet. I might tend to agree with him here. Let's take one more look at it. A good switch. Does the defender? No. Ings with that left arm.
Yeah, that chicken arm, that chicken wing. Yeah.
It's okay if you have it a bent elbow, but as soon as you extend it into the defense and toward the defender, and it comes away from your body, officials are going to whistle for you every time. This has been a good crew.
Yeah.
These guys have been on top, but they've let them play, but they haven't let the game get out of control. 3
great officials that we've had here. Mike Terry, Kellen Milliner, and Mike Meon. 5:30 to play now. Here's Mitchell Taylor, nearly carried it. Got it to Dubinsky with 1. Miss and a foul on the floor.
Oh, they're going to get a wrestle underneath. I don't know if it was Bladen underneath there or Myers with the foul. Big Jones will put so much pressure on these guys on the offensive glass. The smaller Spartans have to try to grab him or get into his lower body and move him away from the basket. But that's only the 5th team foul. So baseline out of bounds. And so they're dodging a bullet because they are not in that penalty situation.
Yeah, Norfolk State thought they had a shot clock violation. That's what Coach Jones is arguing for.
Well, they also had a player out there dribbling the ball. He rolled it over the back of his shoulder, and the officials might have missed that one.
Here's Dubinsky. Drayton Jones. No. Rebound, Tyrell Bladen.
I love Bladen. I tell you what, it comes off the bench. He's vocal defensively on that back line. He rebounds his position very well.
Under 5 to play. Ings, 3. Yes!
Oh, no, he did. Ings with a couple cold-blooded threes here in the second half. That's where Steph likes to shoot him from. That was deep.
Largest lead of the game for the Spartans. Yeah, it's 7.
That put a smile on Bruce Smith's face. That was right in front of him. The Hall of Famers taking in the action.
That shot rolls off. And tied up, yes.
Boy, these Spartans are scratching and clawing.
Drayton Jones came away with it, but he gets tied up.
This little lefty is absolutely fearless behind the arc. Barking to some guys in the front row. Did you see me? Did you get a good video of that jumper? Wasn't that pretty?
Possession arrow heads to the Spartans. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs have now missed 8 of their last 9 shots. That's why the lead is 7 for Norfolk State.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left to go in this game, but you just...
Oh, caught in that backcourt.
That's going to be a violation. Oh, he called timeout with 1 second left on the 10-second clock. Coach can't believe it. He wants the violation.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball. It is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. It is getting sticky here in Norfolk.
Sticky's a great word for it. I'll tell you what, these Norfolk State fans and faithful, they are having a party now. They were quiet in that first half when their team was down by double digits, but now that they got this 7-point lead, they are trying to make it loud and impossible for the South Carolina State team to concentrate.
Winner heads to the NCAA tournament. It's been over 20 years since South Carolina State has done it. For Norfolk State, it would be their 4th appearance in the past 5 seasons. Moore had it, nearly trips and falls. Throws that one up with the left hand, but got it back. 4 minutes to play now. Ames thinks about the 3, pulls it. Rebound comes away to Tyrell Blayton.
I played against a dude in the league, Dennis Rodman. It just seemed like he had sold his soul. The ball the way it would bounce sometimes, his direction on the offensive glass, and that's like Blayton. It just seems like when you need a timely stop, block, a rebound, an extra possession, and Blayton, he does a little bit of everything. He's like one of these Swiss Army knives for the Spartans.
4th foul on Drayton Jones of South Carolina State. So Tyrell Blayton will go to the line.
It's a venture when Blayton goes to the line. I mentioned all the good things he does. One thing he does not do very well is he's a sub 52% free throw shooter. So this right now, these are big pressure free throws. My old coach John Lucas used to say, pressure either creates diamonds or bursts pipes. We'll see what happens to Blayton. Now, he gets 2 though, not the 1-on-1. He gets 2.
Grad transfer out of Ryder.
Badge, student, everything on the line right here, and you've been in that gym for the last 7 months working on the cherry stripe, and you got to knock him down.
He gets one more.
Yeah, first one's just a rangefinder. Listen, I didn't shoot very good from the free throw line in college either. I always needed that first one as a rangefinder. But you needed coaches to come to me in the NBA. See, Williams, we need to get 5 points out of you tonight. I said, no problem. You come to me, we need to get 10 points out of you tonight. I'll get you 5, coach. Well, Blayton right now, he got to get this free throw down. There it is.
1 or 2.
I like that.
Lead is 8. Under 4 to play.
South Carolina back into that little matchup zone defense, trying to extend to the corners.
McKenzie, the 3, no good, but rebound comes to South Carolina State. Back to McKenzie. That one's strong. Mitchell Taylor's got it. He'll pull. His shot no good. And it's the Spartans who come away with it with 3:20 to play.
I think the Spartans are panicking. You know, 3 3-point shots on those extra possessions. A lot of time left. Plenty of time to take the ball inside.
Moore, the pull-up. No. Loose ball. South Carolina comes away with it. They've made 1 of their last 12 shots.
Yeah, it's the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs got to attack inside.
Dubinsky in the paint. The runner is short. And then again, it's Norfolk State with the board.
They have gone stone cold. Can't get anything to fall. Inside
1
or
of
out.
13, Scott, from the field is South Carolina State over the past 8 minutes.
2.5 minutes to play. A lot of time in an 8-point game, especially with the 3-point shooters they got. They got to get a stop right here, right now.
5 on the shot clock. Moore. Corner 3. Air ball. And here comes Mitchell Taylor. He forces that shot up, but draws the foul.
That's the one where Ings has got to know I'm in a bad way, where you're not in a penalty situation. Let me commit this foul prior to the shot. Keep them off of that free throw line so we have a chance to reset our defense. Now I tell them I'm the all-time ACC fouls leader, career. And I always say, not every foul is a bad foul. You got to know time and score and what the penalty or bonus situation may or may not be. That was a perfect opportunity for Ings to take one because he had, a disadvantage.
And the first free throw by the sophomore rolls off.
Oh, you're shaking your head the way I'm shaking my head. It's almost like there is a lid on that basket for South Carolina State. They can't get threes to go. They can't get shots in the paint to go. And they just missed the first free throw there by Taylor.
South Carolina State on an 11-game winning streak. Have not been in the NCAA tournament. Have not won the MEAC tournament since 2003. And Taylor missed them both.
Yeah, that was a flop.
Yeah, they're going to call that foul on Mike Teal.
Yeah, Teal tried to draw a foul. I think it was.
Oh, yeah. That was a great acting job.
Yeah, I don't know. Spike Lee's remix to Do the Right Thing. I don't know what he was trying out for, but it definitely got that foul. That's unfortunate, too, because 2 free throws the other way now. He could dig that deficit even deeper for South Carolina State. What has happened to South Carolina State here in the second half? They've come unglued.
See, they're consoling Mitchell Taylor, who's disappointed at himself for missing those free throws. They're going to take another look at that play, but that was more of an acting job than anything. But here in this second half, it's been Ing and those guys, and especially Moore.
Yeah, Moore's been so aggressive. Second half has been fantastic, taking the ball hard to the rack. And Ing, I love that little backhanded action there, the triples from the outside. They have just mixed up the inside attack with the outside attack. They've got live ball turnovers, and they've raced to the other end. Before that, South Carolina State defense has had a chance to set itself. It frustrated them so much in that first half with that 2-3 zone and amoeba defense. And left Norfolk State nowhere to opt to attack it. But here in the second half, Norfolk State, boy, like gangbusters, putting on that pressure, getting turnovers, and as you can see, that was the worst acting job I've ever seen to try to get an elbow to the neck or the chest, the chin area. So nice job by Meyer, excuse me, taking care of that basketball. But there's not going to be anything there. There's going to be 2 young men just having some good contact underneath the basket.
Norfolk State, Scott, with a victory today, it would be their 24th of the season, which matches their total from last season, where they had the Conference Player of the Year, Conference 6th Man of the Year. It would also tie their second most in a season as a Division I program. That's the job that Robert Jones has done for the Spartans. A guy who has always been highly coveted. I mean, I remember last season, Buffalo, Western Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, were just a number of schools that were after him.
Yeah, I'd like to be his agent, because I'm sure there's going to be some schools this offseason going to come knocking and kicking the tires and find out what kind of interest they have. Am I trying to steal him away from Norfolk State? Right now, he's got his team. I don't know what the halftime talk he gave was, but he lit a fire up underneath his squad.
Jalen Myers, ice in his veins, knocks down both free throws. 14-2 run by the Spartans. Lead is 10. And we are under 2 minutes. Dubinsky pulls up from the baseline and knocks it down.
Oh, nice job by Dubinsky, using that screen, getting it to the baseline. Look at this full-out trap here, trying to get that ball back.
Here's Ings with it. Tied up and a foul. Let's get a quick update from the studio. Dallin.
Thanks, BC. If you're looking for the American Conference semifinal, Tulane taking on Memphis. That has started over on the ESPN app. When we are done down in Norfolk, that'll move over to ESPN2. Back down to you guys for a conclusion of a good one in the MEAC.
All right, Dallin.
Well, great job by the guys in the white shirts, getting that ball through the press and then not trying to rush to score. The clock is their friend. They want to burn some clocks, and Ings does a nice job holding that, taking on that double team, and then getting that foul. Look at that concentration of that young Mets. Just trying to knock these freebies down.
Missed that first one.
Eight-point game right now. This is a big one here. You're trying to make it that, get to that 9-point plateau. And you need a couple threes. They'll have to beat you down the stretch as long as you take care of the ball and you make your free throws. So I guess he pushed it out to 9. That's good. Surprise or impressive.
15 points for Ings. Lead is 9. Corner, Dubinsky. Count it! Good! Lead is now 6.
Yeah, no reason to press. You want to get your defense back in that half court and be set. You can't give up a corner 3 like that.
Ings, they get it across. And that's how you break the press. As Ladine dunks it home.
This place is going bananas. They can almost feel that trip to the big dance.
Dubinsky again for 3.
Not so fast, says Dubinsky. You got ourselves a 2-possession game with 57 seconds to go.
He has been lights out from beyond the arc. Lead is just 5, under a minute.
Well, I mentioned when you get that ball and the team is selling out and you got 3 guys in the back court, once you get it to the front court, you got to turn and attack. And that's exactly what they do. They find their big man along the baseline for the 2-hand power slam. He left no crumbs.
Meanwhile, Wilson Dubinsky trying to shoot South Carolina State back into it. He's got 20. And you can see Coach Martin here talking about his squad. Listen, they got plenty of time.
A lot of time. At the 2.5-minute mark, it looked like they were lifeless and left for dead. And all of a sudden, you know, there's more than just a pulse. They got a strong heartbeat. They're right back in this thing. Coaching up his squad, firing them up. I love that. There's nothing greater than college basketball, man. All those young kids, you know, 19 to 23 years old out here battling for their lives, don't want to see their basketball season end, and they're giving it all they got here for this final moments.
Both teams with 1 timeout. You see that the Spartans are in the bonus, and the possession arrow is pointing towards South Carolina State. Now, if you're the Bulldogs, what are we trying to get a steal here?
Absolutely. 100% sell out in the backcourt, try to get that steal. You even want to try to double team a second time after they get the ball over a half court. If you don't get either of those 2 steals, then you got to commit a foul, because with 57 seconds left, you can ill afford to let Spartans take 30 seconds off of that game clock. Got to try to lengthen this game as much as you can. Hopefully they'll miss some free throws. Look at this, 5 guys on the out of bounds line.
And then they run right back. And they get it in. Myers. Nearly stolen, and they get the steal. Dubinsky lays it in. He's got 22. Lead is 3.
Oh my, live ball turnover and a quick score. And they got another strong
He's trapped. He calls timeout. The final timeout is used by the Spartans. Down to 3 with 43 seconds left. Oh, March Madness is here.
Well, they got the ball into the free throw shooter's hands that they wanted to. Unfortunately, he spit it up right at the half-court line here. Myers kicked it off his own Nikes, and then, love that one right there. McKenzie gets it ahead, and, well, the rest is history. But, wow, what a costly turnover. So not only do you not get an opportunity to kill clock or get points, you give them a quick scoring opportunity the other direction. You got yourself a one-possession game here. 43 seconds left. Now, Spartans do not need to foul or trap. They can play this one straight up.
.43 seconds left. The winner heads to the NCAA tournament, and for South Carolina State, it would be their first appearance with a victory in 22 years.
Yeah, I keep saying Spartans. I meant Bulldogs. Bulldogs do not need to foul here. They can fall back into their good half-court defense. They're probably going to put a little pressure on them in the backcourt, but not so much pressure that they have to worry about committing a foul. You do not want to put the Spartans on the free throw line unnecessarily, some 75, 85 feet away from their own basket. But they tighten the screws defensively. They might try to see if they can force them into another turnover.
If South Carolina can come back and pull off a victory, it'd be their 6th MEAC conference tournament title. First again since 2003, with Ty Hampton for the 2nd most MEAC conference tournament titles in program history. They get it in. The Spartans. Here comes the trap. Spartans. Again, as you talked about, the 2nd trap. And a little tie up.
I'm not sure if the officials blew a whistle for a foul there. Did they foul in a one-possession game? I guess there is a...
They did call a foul.
There's a 6.8 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock right now. I would have thought that you know, it was a larger differential before. I think it was about 14, 15 second differential. You could have played that out and tried for the stop and still have plenty of opportunity to try to hit a three-pointer to tie. But he's the player, he's the coach of the year for a reason. He wants to put him on the line and see if he can make both free throws.
Darden's been, I was going to say, been perfect from the line so far today. Misses that first one.
Oh, that pressure. I always think about John Lucas when it comes down here to the end of the game and someone's got to toe that line and try to make some free throws.
He's a senior. 1 of 2.
Well, that was a big one because it does make it a two-possession game here. But you got to get a stop. You cannot let them score quickly. Make them burn some time, precious time off that game clock.
Here come the Bulldogs. Down 4. 28 seconds left. Dubinsky had it. It goes off of his leg. Spartan basketball.
Jones got in a defensive stop and put the clamps on Dubinsky, and he dribbles it off his leg. They can get up into that defensive stance and right off those purple shoes and out of bounds. Now they got a foul. One stance for a steal, maybe on one pass, and then a quick foul.
Nearly stolen. It is stolen by Dubinsky.
Dubinsky had it for a moment, but he couldn't get it to a teammate as he lost his balance and was going to the end line. He tried to kick it back, but it went out of bounds on the sideline. Oh, boy, this is fast and furious. A little wild and crazy at times as well. Seen some really good execution, and we've seen some really poor execution out of both sides.
They want to take another look at it. They're going to take a look.
Well, there's no doubt of the fact that it's going to be the Spartans' ball, but it's like they're trying to figure out exactly.
Make sure it didn't hit Jones.
Oh,
there.
did it hit Jones' inside thigh? Look at this one more time.
Let's see, here's Terrence Jones right there.
He tits off his thigh.
Oh,
off his thigh.
It did go off of Terrence Jones's thigh.
So maybe, just maybe, South Carolina State's going to get this basketball back with even more than 22 seconds left. Yeah, definitely
right
off his thigh. Does anybody touch it after that? Doesn't look like it. It's not over with yet, Brian.
Oh, my goodness.
Gotta love the MEAC, baby.
Man.
What they call it, the MEAC action. We are getting lots of action down here in the final moments of this basketball game. Wow, it looked like Norfolk State was going to run away and high. They were up by 10. And then here comes the Bulldogs, barking, scratching, trying to get themselves back into this game.
The call is overturned. The ball will be South Carolina State's ball with 20 seconds
So there
on
you
the
go.
shot clock.
It has
Game
been
time was
overturned. It will
22.1.
be South Carolina State basketball.
Good eyes by you. You picked up on that right away. I thought he just threw it out of bounds, but sure enough, it was between the wickets of Jones and caught him on the inside thigh. That's pretty good accuracy because he's got some thin little legs.
Lead is 4. 22 seconds left.
Where do you go here, right? You can go for a layup inside and try to get a high percentage shot, or you can crack up a three. You got McKenzie out there, one of your snipers over here in the left corner.
Jaden Johnson with it. 18. Got to go now. Here's Dubinsky. He drives. He lays it in. They're down 2 with 12 seconds to play.
I got sweaty palms over here. I'll tell you what, this is great. There's nothing better than the end of a college basketball game with everything on the line. It almost looked like Norfolk State said, we're going to not give you a three. We are to sell out here behind the line and let you take it inside that arc. And that's exactly what Dubinsky did. So it should be 65-63. Am I right? Yeah, so the score on our screen is wrong. It hasn't changed just yet, but 12.2 seconds to go, and Norfolk State is at a ton of trouble inbounding along their baseline.
Robert Jones.
Yeah, he's drawing that thing up not once but twice, making sure everybody is on the same page. Now they are out of timeouts. Norfolk State is out of timeouts. So is South Carolina State as well. So they got to make sure that they don't suffer a 5-second violation because they've already had one of those tonight.
Right.
They cannot call timeout.
Spartans have got their guys at half court. Stolen. And the follow-up is good. We're tied at 65. Here comes Ing.
He didn't know that the game had been tied up, and he committed the foul. Is going to send the Spartans to the line.
McCarty committed the foul.
Oh, I feel so bad for that young man. I know you're not supposed to cheer over here at the table, but he lost track of what the score was. This layup right here ties the game at 65. All they got to do is get back into good defense and get a stop. But he runs down here and commits the foul. Was that Ing? Yeah, Ing's going to line with 8.9, and he's shooting 2.
Ing is 5 of 7 from the charity stripe tonight.
Yeah, 74% shooter. Got to get them both. And then remember, no timeouts for South Carolina State, so made or missed, they got to race it to the other end.
Winner heads to the NCAA tournament, wins the MEAC tournament as well. First one's good. Neither team has a timeout.
Well, we said it was going to go right down to the end, right? 1 point separating these teams all season long, and here it is right here. Ing has got a chance to put his team up by 2.
Second shot, no good. For the win. Here comes Jaden Johnson. Turns the corner.